So what's going on, everybody? It's Space Cowboy here. Welcome back, and today we have to talk about Dallas Cowboys rookie minicamp. For those that have not been paying attention, the Cowboys started the rookie minicamp on Friday, and there were a couple things that have been taking place throughout the minicamp that are little nuggets of information we want to talk about as we get closer and closer to the summer months when training camp actually begins and all that other stuff. Now, before we get started, if you guys could do me a solid favor and like the video, doesn't take too long to do, and helps out the channel tremendously in YouTube's algorithm. On top of that, subscribe if you're new, if you haven't done so already, to ensure yourself that you get more Dallas Cowboys content as it comes out, along with hitting that notification bell as well. Now, when you take a look at what's been going on, the Dallas Cowboys are pretty much showing their hand a little when it comes to some of these players. More notably, Tyler Smith, the Cowboys' first-round selection. Now, they finally signed Tyler Smith to a 4-year deal, of course, with a 5th-year option, as all first-round picks are, which is fantastic. And according to the sources that are available, Tyler Smith took a big chunk of his reps at left guard, which I thought when we drafted him. I thought the Cowboys should play him at left guard. However, they also played him at left tackle too. So from what I understand with how the Cowboys are approaching Tyler Smith, it looks like that he is making a full go at left guard and possibly going to be your left tackle of the future depending on Tyron Smith's health. Me personally, I believe that the Cowboys should just plug him in at left guard and let him be great there. You know, if you feel that he can be just as good as a left tackle as he is a left guard in terms of the projection, I can see that type of understanding. I think the Cowboys realistically are trying to figure out what they want to do with this offensive line as they kind of put things back together. Okay, so you kind of look at that track record. So to start things off, Tyler Smith being your left guard of the future. Another thing is we got to talk about Sam Williams. So according to him, he wants to go as Sam, so we're going to refer to him as Sam Williams going forward. He's your second-round pick, and from what has been pretty much said, he feels like the Randy Gregory replacement, and that's kind of what people have been talking about in the practices. So Mike McCarthy mentioned how, he looks fantastic. He looks like a guy that's, been born to play professional football. He's got all the physical traits, yada, yada, yada. Basically, he has the intangibles. It's just a matter of putting them together. And then Dan Quinn went on to say that, when he was working with Sam Williams at his pro day, he said, leaving the field that day, I remember telling Mike, I really like to coach that guy. Most of the time when you have that feeling, that's usually good. And that's the thing, right, is that Dan Quinn has done a fantastic job in his, with his first year as Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator. And for him to continue to get some ingredients to retool this defense has been great. And so, you just have to give him his guys and let him do his thing, and we'll see how that pans out. I would say that for Sam Williams, he is not pressured immediately to have some form of an impact because I think the Cowboys are going to roll with D-Law and Dorrance Armstrong as that 1-2 punch there with rotation in between. However, Sam Williams does have a chance to really make an impact and, grab that spot. But with all that being said, I've heard good things about Sam Williams during the practices, so that's all I could say there. I don't want to say that's like reading too far into it and what they have planned, but pretty much they're making him an edge rusher, which, I think everybody knew when you drafted him, so there is that. Then you move on to Jalen Tolbert, your wide receiver that you selected in the 3rd round. Now, this is the weird thing, and, Mike McCarthy mentioned this, how apparently Jalen Tolbert reminds him of a combination of CeeDee Lamb and Cedric Wilson, which I kind of see that. I really see more of a Cedric Wilson in his game than a CeeDee Lamb, but I get what he was going at. I really do like Jalen Tolbert with the Cowboys. I think it's going to be a great fit. And from what I can gather, they're trying him out at all the receiving positions, and what that kind of tells me and confirms is that the Dallas Cowboys are going to continue to do this rotation of where the wide receivers are at on the football field. It's an annoying system, but at the same time, if you're the Dallas Cowboys, with you having CeeDee Lamb on the horizon to pay, you just paid Michael Gallup, who, by the way, he's not returning until probably like week 10 or something later. So Jalen Tolbert really has a chance to shine, but he does have James Washington that he has to beat out. And I'm telling you, everybody, don't sleep on James Washington, because, he still has that possibility of being solid. And I'm not trying to overhype James Washington, Let's just be real. James Washington, at best, is probably a wide receiver 2 or 3. And it's kind of hard to gauge him because in Pittsburgh, he had subpar quarterback play. And some of his moments, he looked really good. And other moments, he was like, okay. So I think for Jalen Tolbert, I think that he's in a fantastic position because he has the chance to show himself before Michael Gallup returns from injury. So that's great to hear that he's being worked around the entire offense in terms of where he's going to be played. You go to Jake Ferguson, and, a lot of people have this thought process of what the Cowboys' plan is at tight end, okay? And so, for me, when I look at the situation, the Cowboys have yet to pay Dalton Schultz, and obviously he hasn't signed his franchise tag. Do I see Jake Ferguson being a Dalton Schultz replacement down the road? Yeah, perhaps. I think he has that ability, but at the same time, you kind of have to think about it this way. The Cowboys, I feel are a bit way too high on Dalton Schultz, and I understand that this is about the rookie training camp, or minicamp, excuse me, but the main reason I bring this up is primarily due to the fact that we have a situation to where you still haven't paid him. And if the Cowboys do pay him, and this is kind of why I was saying in the offseason, why I was like, you can just let him walk, there are plenty of tight ends like a Jake Ferguson, like some of these other guys in the draft that you could have taken over him, or over Dalton Schultz and replaced him pretty fairly, easily. And that's not saying Schultz is a terrible player. It's the fact that Dalton Schultz, to me, is not a game-changing tight end. He's a solid tight end, which if you pay him top-end money, that's at your own discretion. But if you do pay him, now you have a 1-2 punch with Schultz and Ferguson going forward. So according to some of the notes, he has just been working hard as hell. Interestingly enough, he has a number 48, which, unpopular opinion, I actually do like the number 40s on tight ends. I think it's unique. Kill me. But but I really do like Jake Ferguson. I liked him out of Wisconsin, and I think he'll be fitting. And also, kind of the same situation like a Sam Williams. He's not going to be rushed to be that number 1 guy unless something happens to Schultz. So now you go to Matt Waletzko, the tackle out of North Dakota. So when it comes to this offensive line situation, you know what you got at left guard, right? You know what you got at right guard. Center, there's going to be a competition. Right tackle, you still have to re-sign Terrence Steele. He has 1 more year left on his deal. So if you do re-sign him, you now have that right tackle committed. Like, okay, we know who the right tackle is, the right guard. And to me, and I've said this in the offseason, I feel that the interior of the offensive line needs work. The left tackle position, you just need someone to be ready to go as soon as Tyron gets hurt. And it's not a matter of if, it's when. At this point in his career, it's been that way. But, look, I like Matt Waletzko a lot. I think with how many players the Cowboys drafted on day 3, a lot of it is project players. They have really good skill sets that I think can really mesh well with this team. And that's not me trying to be suckered into this, and I'm not trying to overhype these prospects. I'm being real with you. The fact of the matter is a lot of these guys, they have a lot of work to do if they want to be key contributors for this team. However, from what I understand, Matt Waletzko and Tyler Smith were a duo on that left side. Matt was playing left tackle, and Tyler was playing left guard, which, if that is any indication, ladies and gentlemen, it does feel like those two, specifically Tyler Smith being the first one to be he's ready to go there. However, if Matt Waletzko can be ready and develop properly, he's going to be a solid left tackle for you. And that is the one thing I needed to know about rookie training camp, is that what is going on with these offensive linemen. And it's everything that I thought was going to be the case. You have Matt Waletzko at left tackle, Tyler Smith at left guard. And that, I think, is going to be the Cowboys' plan. Okay, you roll with Tyron Smith. He gets hurt. Matt comes in. He's your left tackle. And if he shows out, you got a future left tackle. And those are hard to come by, people. I understand that we were very much spoiled with great offensive line play. But the one thing I can say, if there's anything else, is that the Cowboys have to do better with getting good offensive linemen outside of the first round. That is not to say that you don't draft an offensive lineman in the first round. If he's the best guy on the board, by all means, you go with that. However, I think the Cowboys now know, or rather, I know what the Cowboys are trying to do. The Cowboys are trying to fix this offensive line on the fly, and we'll see if it works. You got your left guard, your right guard set. Your right tackle is set as long as you re-sign him. The center and left tackle spots, I think, are question marks. And for me, I would love to see Matt Farniak, or Farniak, however you pronounce it. I know it's Farniak, but some people, some people said it's other, but side tangent aside. See how that pans out. I do like Matt Farniak a lot more than Tyler Biadasz, because I feel like Farniak has a little bit more power. And on top of that, with your left tackle spot, you just need someone to not skip a beat as soon as Tyron goes out. And as long as you have continuity and you know where anybody is playing, if something goes awry, that's all that matters to me. And all I know is that all the other guys in this draft class haven't done anything notable during the training camp, or so we got OTAs on the 24th. We'll see how things go. But that has been the takeaways from Cowboys rookie training camp. I really like what I'm hearing, but again, I'm not saying it's going to be an instant, oh, we're good. But take these nuggets and run with them. So, with all that being said, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.